Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tales of Telduria. Today we have just Luna, though we may have two more later today, depending on how long this session goes, as well as depending on their availability. I know one of those two players is available because they actually gave an answer. I don't know if the other one is just
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, only did.
Okay. I apparently didn't get a notification for that, but I guess that's okay. Um, yeah, because Luna's session today may not go for very long, and Luna, uh, I won't. I'll try and say this in a way that's not very spoilery, but you will have a very big choice to make today, or you will be given a large choice today. And depending on the choice that you make, which is not beholden to the choices that you were actually given, by the way, because it is a role playing game. Just because a character says pick A or pick B doesn't mean that you, the player, can't pick C. Um, it depends on the choice that you make, will effectively dictate where you end up in relation to the campaign, on whether or not you actually link up with the rest of the party.
Oh god. Please do not put me in prison for another week. It's been so long.
So, yeah, there's that. But since you were the only one here, you get to detail what happened last session. But unlike a lot of the other music, you can just play the music now if you so wish.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what?
There is no music.
I know I haven't put it up. So just go ahead and detail what happened during your last
Okay.
session. We can start the music afterwards.
I mean, I can do this in a minute. So, Luna went on a date with her boyfriend Alistair, to which he took her to the farm where he worked as a little boy and still occasionally works at. They went around, he showed her the animals, and as they were just about to take a ride after Luna has been instructed for the very first time, a courier came to Alistair with a message pertaining to the war between Kelnor and Telduria that has now broken out, and the fact that Kelnor is sieging certain cities in Telduria. And so, of course, as the military leader of Telduria, Alistair has to leave, which Luna is not very pleased about. He essentially gave her a choice between trying to make it to Dragonport by herself if he can get her guards, or coming with him to Tarantus. The first option fell through because nobody wanted to go with Luna, because apparently people in the military don't like her. This is completely unjust and unfair.
People in Dun Aemon don't like her, that is true.
Which is very unjust and unfair because she has done nothing wrong. She's a perfect little angel. Anyways.
He says about his baby girl, who is a almost full-fledged criminal.
Yes. And so then she got a further choice if she wants to accompany him to Arantis as a prisoner or as a soldier. And she begrudgingly said, okay, put me in a uniform, I fucking guess. And here we are.
Hooray. Alright, well, succinct summary. So for today's session, now I guess we can start the music, so as per usual, on go. 3, 2, 1, go. So, to continue with your summary last, as stated before, Alistair got news that Kelnor and Telduria are now at war with each other. And not that long ago, Kelnor had launched an invasion on the capital itself. Alistair found this to be dubious at best, considering that he is a gigantic autist who, on his second date ever with Luna, showed her his funny wargame tabletop and made her play with him after explaining the rules to her for like 4 hours. To which Alcer is now saying is canonically 40k for whatever reason.
Yeah. Luna plays Dark Angels. I don't know what Alistair plays. I have to think about it. He's probably Ultramarines or something.
No, I think he'd like to play Dorn pretty much all the time.
Fists. I guess fists makes sense. but fists are the defensive guys. He's not a defensive guy.
I know, that's why it's amusing. His god is offensive, but he plays the defensive team. Why? Because he thinks reading the instruction manual is the equivalent of a good night's read before going to bed.
I'm sorry, God. My spirit autist is a defense main.
The best offense is a good defense. You know what? That is true. Very true. But yes, as previously stated, he thought the timing was very strange because he knows the exact distance between his home and the capital. He knows that even if someone were to sprint non-stop, it would take about 2 weeks for them to actually get between the two cities. But this apparent courier only took 1 week for that to happen, which is very strange. However, it is his country, and he does have to defend it, and despite him thinking that there's something foul afoot, he gathers the army that he commands and marches his way down to Tarantus. It takes, I'll say, a little over a month, maybe about a month and a half, to actually get there after about 2 days of prep. So, hooray-ish, kind of, something like that. When you get there, Luna, you find that Tarantus has a massive Teldurian encampment along the northern edge of the city, as it seems that the city is effectively in a 2-stage siege. And what I mean by that is, from your current vantage point, since you're at a higher elevation in the city itself, you can see that Kelnor has invaded the city and is leading their siege from the multitude of ships that are either parked in or just outside of the harbor. And a good portion of the city does seem to be captured. But yet, the Teldurian side of things are setting up siege engines pretty much all across the board and are counter-sieging the city that they apparently still control half of. Mostly trebuchets, since I know you were probably going to ask.
I wasn't going to, but good to know.
Good to know. So, that's the scene. You were just arriving. Is there anything in particular that you want to say or do?
I guess she'll walk up to Alistair and she'll tap his shoulder and she'll say, you know, I don't think this me playing soldier will work for a lot longer. I really don't want to fight for these people. Sorry, even if it's you. This is horrible.
He'll lightly knock at the kettle hat that Luna is forced to wear. To which he will say, well, that gives you one of one choice. and I don't know how well you would like being in iron shackles all the time. But just stay here, if you so wish. I'm not actually sending my military in just yet. There are several things that I need to discuss with the commanders that are here, to which he'll point over to the largest tent of this current siege camp and says, I will be over there. Just stay here, okay?
Yeah, I guess if they're anybody important, they might even, realize I'm not Teldurian.
Yeah. He will then walk
I just
off.
stay here.
He'll then walk off and enter the tent. And I already know what you're going to say. Go ahead and roll for stealth. Yeah, I'll just stay here, she says. Waits for him to be out of view. Follows anyway.
And anyways, how many spell slots do I have? Ah, come on, I have 4 spell slots today. What's a little invisibility?
Sure. Go ahead and roll for that. Actually, I guess you'll have to do 2 stealth checks. One to actually sneak there, and then one to either, move the flap of the tent so that you can see inside, or sneak your way inside as well without being discovered. Unless you want to just sit outside the tent, but regardless of what happens, you'll still have to roll for perception once you're there to try and listen in. And being outside the tent makes the perception DC much higher than being inside the tent.
So just 2d20 for stealth right now.
Well, specifically, which would you like to do for your stealth options? You can either stand outside you can stealth and stand outside the tent and try and listen that way. Move the flap a little bit so that it's easier to hear but still outside the tent, or sneak inside the tent in full.
Yeah, I guess you'll probably go towards the ground, just stay low, maybe even crawl, and then just lift this bottom corner of the flap.
Okay, so lifting the flap and staying outside. Alright.
Yeah, to be as inconspicuous as possible.
Alright, so that would still 2 stealth checks, followed by a perception check. And one of those is a nat 20. I see.
Let's go. Well, hey, as long as it's not a nat 1, I think my stealth score and my invisibility is good enough, probably.
Yeah, probably. Already puts you close to 3k EXP in just 3 rolls.
Well, I have to be good at something.
Yeah, but usually you'd be at around the 1500 mark, not the fucking 3k mark.
I'll mark off my spell slot.
Alright. Okay, so you cast invisibility, the exact frame that Alistair walks into the tent, because you are a criminal and you don't listen to any advice that anyone gives you ever, not even your own parent. Because
untrue, she listens to Roxy all the time. But Roxy just gives bad advice.
You know what? True. I guess that's true. And after casting invisibility, you walk over to the tent, and then once you're close, you lay down onto the ground as quietly as possible, lift up the flap, and look inside. You do your best to try and listen. To which, when you look inside, you can see that there is more than 2 people, that being, there's more than just Alistair and 1 other commander there. You can't quite count out, but you do count about 4 sets of legs. Though from time to time as they talk, these legs will walk out of view and then walk back into view. And since their uniforms are, well, uniform, you can't tell if there are different people. But at the very least, you know that is a bare minimum of 4. As for what their conversation is about, you can already tell that Alistair's pissed. While generally his tone doesn't change all that much, even when he is angry. Considering that you spend so much time with him, you can tell that he is pissed. To which he starts to grill them over various different things. First, the defense of the capital itself. If, you know, it took him about a month and a half to get down here, then they've probably have been holding the city for about 2 weeks longer than that, to which you already know that he's playing stupid on purpose. That the city has effectively been besieged for 2 months, and they have lost half. It's effectively a massive embarrassment, not because, oh, Kelnor has the strongest military between the two of them, but because the opposing military is launching an aquatic invasion. They're doing so from sea. Every single one of their important resources is effectively a sitting duck, whereas with Telduria, they can very easily move theirs. To which, you know, this is countered by the attack being a surprise and no one really expected it, and so on and so forth, because, you know, they jumped through the teleporter and sailed on the ships at the same time. To which, go ahead and roll sense motive there.
Let's see. Where is it? Here. Oh no, taking long.
Okay. You can tell, based on the answer from this particular individual, that they are lying. You aren't entirely sure about what, but they are lying. And it's clear by the way that Alistair's tone shifts that Alistair knows that they're lying too. For context for the viewers, Kelnor did not actually launch an invasion through the teleporter. They launched their entire invasion through ships. They didn't want to accidentally miss time. There is definitely a middle-aged rat folk somewhere in the city having a lot of fun. I don't know who in particular you may be referring to, but okay. Wink. Where was I? Right. So, you can tell that they're lying about something. Alistair can tell that they're also lying. You in particular can't tell exactly about what, but you know that this conversation is going south very quickly. To which, from there, Alistair would start questioning them as to why they are building siege equipment in the way that they are in relation to the capital itself. Sure, you know, collateral damage is going to happen. It's inevitable. Buildings will get burned, things will fall over, things will get crushed. But why are they building rows upon rows of trebuchet when the range of such things would not be able to reach the ships in question based on where they are currently positioned? And if they were to get closer to the city, they wouldn't have the elevation to be able to actually hit the ships to begin with. Why aren't they building cannons? Why aren't they building ballista? That way they can actually move them through the city streets, capture or conquer certain areas to actually bombard the invasion, and so on and so forth. He's basically going back and forth between interrogating them for their poor decisions and then berating them for not being as good as a general as he is. To which you can tell the latter is mostly him just showing off, because there is a reason as to why he is the commanding general of the entire Teldurian military, even if there are other generals that may or may not exist.
What do I get from their responses? Does it feel like they're actually incompetent, or does it feel like they're just, haha, I was only pretending to be retarded?
Go ahead and roll another sense motive for that one. You rolled relatively low, but, I guess from your perspective, it'll feel like a mixture of both. Depending on, like, the grilling itself, it'll feel like, oh shit, yeah, I should have thought of that. Like, they were actually one-upped in their general capabilities. But for others, it'll feel somewhere in the middle. For example, you can very easily tell that them being berated for building trebuchets instead of cannons was a general or genuine mistake on their part. But for everything else, you can't tell if it is because they are stupid or if they are deliberately acting malicious. However, you can tell that Alistair is doing something very specific as he continues to talk. So go ahead and do one more sense motive. Alright, and then I would like you to go ahead and roll another stealth. Almost another fucking crit. Alright.
Sadly, I don't have a crit range on stealth.
I know. Alright. So you can tell that Alistair is doing this specific interrogation because he is looking for a specific person to direct his ire towards. Or, at the very least, you know that he's fishing for something, and the way that he's fishing for this particular thing is by going around one by one, singling some people out, gathering a little bit of information, and then moving on to the next person. At some point during the conversation, he asks all of the other commanders to leave, simply because, one, he has the authority to do so, and two, there is one commander in particular that he wants to talk with, to which when he says the name of this particular individual, it sounds incredibly familiar to you. And it's because it's one of the names that Alistair has dropped as other people being on the council. Not the council. Yeah, the council. The Teldurian government. The reason why I had you roll for stealth is because you needed to move out of the way so that they didn't step on you, since you were kind of laying in front of the door. And then to roll back so that you can listen in again, to which you need to make another perception check. And then, you know what? Go ahead and roll for sense motive here too, since I'm sure you'll ask about it in a bit.
Yeah.
You know, because of the conversation.
Yeah. Got them both.
Okay, so as you listen into this conversation, which thankfully you rolled high enough to actually hear clearly, you can see that Alistair is quite deliberately interrogating the other individual here, simply due to the fact that, at least to him, things aren't adding up. a lot of the timelines, especially the ones that I have already mentioned, don't make any particular sense. Why did the messenger come a week sooner than what is normally to be expected? Why are they building trebuchets, things that would generally take the longest out of all the resources that they have available, and not ballista or cannons? As a matter of fact, the length that ballistas take is almost a month, especially with the amount of trebuchets that they're actually making. So, how long was the city actually besieged for? Were they actually expecting it? To have these materials ready and a camp like this all set up means there has to be some kind of expectation. And he continues to drill and drill and drill into this particular individual, to which, after some time, the person breaks, especially under his intimidation, especially under Alistair's intimidation. And he speaks the truth, to which, as he continues to speak the truth, at least from your perspective, you watch as the man's feet are on the ground one moment, and then lifted about a foot off the ground another moment. Because the man talks about how he already knew that Kelnor was going to declare war simply due to the fact that there were spies all around the Kelnorian territory, and they already, set out word that the ships of war had been launched. To which you can, with your sense motive, with the DC actually being a 20, you can tell that he's lying. You can also tell that Alistair can tell that he's lying. But the man sticks to his guns and says that that's the truth, that's his truth, that's the story that he made, so on and so forth. To which, after the conversation boils over, and Alistair is now holding him up by the neck, choking him out, he makes his intentions perfectly clear. He is not going to participate in this war, because there was no reason for it. He is sending his army back to Dun Amen, and their only orders will be to protect Dun Amen from both Kelnor and from other Teldurian military, if they are attempted to be forced into the conflict. Eventually, the grip is released, and the man collapses to the floor, choking and gagging, to which, go ahead and roll for stealth. You can tell that Alistair is now leaving, and he starts to walk out, so you quickly move away from the tent and rush back to where you were, turning off the invisibility as he exits, to which, once he's about halfway across the grass, you watch as he pauses, stares at you for a moment, and his eyes narrow, and then he raises a hand and very calmly crooks a finger, motioning you to come towards him.
Well, I will come over.
He'll wait till you're there, and once you're standing in front of him, he'll stare at you for a moment, and then cross his arms and tilt his head down, looking at you a little bit more sternly, as if already waiting for a confession.
She just stares back. After like half a minute or so, she'll say, "You really need me to say it? We both know it. Do you want me to say I'm sorry? Because I'm not."
Then, can you, this time, please just let me be for about 15 minutes, I'm going to go cool off.
Okay. No, you need that. After what you just heard, I'll be waiting here for you. Maybe I'll organize a snack or something.
Thank you. To which he'll then walk off. Is there anything in particular that Luna would like to do in these 15-ish minutes that he is, going off to cool down on his own?
Well, I don't think there's much she'll be able to see, even if she tries to get a sneak peek, like, onto the city. She wouldn't be able to make out who's there because they're probably in cover.
Yeah, the only way that she would be able to determine that is if she went into the city itself.
Yeah.
Which I don't think she wants to do.
Yeah, and there's also no time for that. No, I guess she'll just actually go and see if she can get, like, some sweet or something.
To go through the supplies of both what she brought with and what's already stationed nearby to try and get him a snack.
Yeah.
Anything in
get
particular
him a
that you're trying to look for?
Yeah, if possible, get him a pastry or something, if not some dried fruit or something.
Pastries would not exist on the front. At least, not traditionally. Like, there might be, crackers, so to speak, but they'd be similar to pemmican or hardtack.
Yeah, probably salty as well.
Not all, believe it or not. Pemmican actually wasn't that salty. It was just very dry and very fatty.
Wild. No, I guess I'd stick with the dried fruit idea. That makes the most sense. That's probably something that can be preserved.
Fruit can actually be preserved for quite some time without having to be dried, so that's fine. But you would not be able to find it. You would not be able to find it in your supplies. You'd have to go to the other camp, to which I assume means that Luna is now stealing. And YGF is correct. Pemmican was often kind of sweet because they'd mix in dried berries with mostly flavorless meat, which that is true. Bound together by fat. There's actually a specific word for it, but I know it was fat.
I don't think she will actually do that. She knows Alistair is already pissed off enough without her getting up to even more shenanigans, and she wanted to get him something so he gets less stressed, not more stressed. Because believe it or not, there is a semblance of common sense in Luna.
I like how you said, he won't have to deal with her shenanigans as you reach into some bag and pull out a snack. Which I can only
going
assume
to be very
is some more Ohio.
What? Ohio? Oh god. No, those were gummy worms. I don't think they have those yet.
Alright. Well, I guess you just wait around for the 15 minutes. And after some time, Alistair returns. He is much more relaxed than before. However, you can tell that he is a bit more determined. Obviously, you have no idea over what, but it is very clear to you that there is some goal in mind that he has in his head that he is going to see through. When he approaches you, he tells you that the army will be moving probably in about a half an hour, to which you will be sent back with them, unless, of course, you would like to go with him to High Rock, because he's going there alone, since there is something there that he needs to do a little bit of research on. And as that is going on, a courier arrives going into the general's tent, to which he looks at with mild suspicion, crosses his arms, and then waits, before the courier then leaves the tent, looks around for a little bit, sees that Alistair is nearby, and runs over, before handing him a letter. Alistair opens the letter and reads through it, to which he says, "Oh, well, plans have now changed."
Wrong.
He then looks up at Luna, his eyes a bit glazed over, and that anger from before previously returning. It seems that Telduria has declared war on the Aquan Society on the basis of holding high-value prisoners that could be used to prematurely end the war with Kelnor. Which means you now have two options. I either send you back with my military, to which you become a prisoner of war in Dun Aemon, or you come with me to High Rock, which means you become my prisoner of war.
You know, I could just go into the city and go look for my uncle.
Unfortunately, I can't allow that. That is an active war zone. I'm not letting you walk into an active war zone.
She looks at him. She looks at the city. Then back at him. You know, I could just sneak away, but you've had a bad enough day. I'll not add to that. And I will not be going with anyone but with you.
Then that means you are going with me to High Rock. Which means he motions to the uniform that you are wearing, and he'll say, "You don't have to wear that anymore."
Yay! I'm relieved of duty. I'm dishonorably discharged.
But I will have to put a collar on you.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. You're
What a horrible, horrible thing.
Sad at being forced to wear a collar and a leash, even though I guess it's more like rope, and me dragging you around for several months.
Yeah, just be careful. I might start barking.
You do that anyway.
True. Well, and she moves her hip so that her rapier jumps up, and I guess I won't be needing that anymore.
Correct.
Or I won't be allowed to have that anymore. And she holds it out to him.
To which he'll take, and then he'll point at the scabbard as well. Need that too.
She removes it from her belt. You know, please keep it safe. I'm paying a lot of my hard-earned money for that.
To which he'll put the rapier back into the scabbard, and then he'll motion to the belt, and that too.
Oh. She takes off the belt.
To which he'll reattach the scabbard to the belt, and then wrap the belt around him, so that he's carrying the rapier instead.
She looks a bit... looks good at you. Maybe a little small.
Yeah, just like you.
You should carry one of those.
To which he'll then sigh.
I'm not small.
And say, "I'll give you 10 minutes to go change. It's more than enough time that I'll need to tell my military that they are leaving."
Yay! You will not be fighting anyone who will potentially, quite likely, kill you.
To which I would like you to go ahead and roll sense motive here. You watch him pause at this particular statement, with his eyes tilting up and to the left, as if he's contemplating your question. To which he'll go, yeah, I think so. And then walk off towards the military.
Well, I guess that's that. She will take off her uniform and wait for him to come back with the chains.
Alright, to which that's exactly what happens. You take off your uniform, you return to your usual outfit that you have a tendency to wear, or not wear, because it's not really much of an outfit.
Look, Ardwall is very hot.
And he returns with a collar, which he fits around your neck. It's a little bit large, so it dangles and bounces against your collarbone, but it's not particularly heavy, though, granted, maybe after several months of carrying this, it may begin to hurt. And there is a rope attached to it. The rope itself is about 10 feet in length, to which he takes about 2 feet of that rope and ties around his body. It's basically wrapped around him like a harness over his shoulder, so he doesn't have to constantly hold the leash. And by the time that he is done tying it to his body, you are effectively trapped and no longer allowed to move more than 7 feet away from him at all times. The only time that'll get longer is if you need a little bit of privacy to do, I don't know, womanly things, I guess, to which he will untie from his body and either hold in his hand or tie to something else.
No, getting tied to a tree like a horse.
Yeah, pretty much. To which he sends his military, his personal army, off back to Dun Amen to defend the city, and he takes you to march to High Rock. Since it is just the two of you, and it is quite clear that he's in a hurry, this also takes about a month and a half, give or take. And when you arrive, you find that the city is effectively on lockdown. The city itself has been converted into something that is obviously much more militarized and uniform in structure, constantly producing more and more material for the war effort, to which, as you walk along, you can clearly see that a good portion of the population is being used as slave labor to make these particular products. I will not have you roll for perception, since I do know that Razas and Kyra are here, but for the sake of not having you interact yet, no perception.
Well, I'm sure she is only looking at Alistair.
Or, I guess, parading herself proudly, because now she is in full public view of a couple of thousands of people tied to her boyfriend in a slave getup.
Nah. That if it was up to her, this would only be for her and him. She still wants her public image as a hero, even if that is kind of fucked sometimes.
The Princess Leia fit, yeah. Pretty much. So, you make your way through the city, and you go towards the northern end, where there is an internment camp, to which he takes off the rope and ties it to a nearby lamp, and says that he will be right back. And then he walks into the internment camp. So, yet another choice, since you are Luna after all. Are you actually going to stay put, or are you going to try and break out and follow him?
Wait, since this is a brand new month, I have my spell slots back.
Yes.
No, I think realistically she wouldn't, because the chains are too loud. I know this is mechanically not true, but this is what she would realistically do. Would say, okay, no, these chains are too loud, I can't move quietly with this nonsense. There's no point in trying.
So you will stay put. In which case, I would like you to go ahead and roll perception.
But she will do telescope eyes.
Telescope eyes, okay. Go ahead and roll for perception.
Watch me nat 20 on this shit.
Okay, you didn't even roll high enough for the secondary roll either. Alright, so where you are standing, you more or less hang out, vibe. He did leave you some food, so I don't know, you're snacking on a couple of oranges, I guess. And as you lean against the pole, facing towards this internment camp, you wait and wait and wait for Alistair. To which, I'd say roughly a half an hour later, you see this bright white light. And to be a bit more specific by that, it's this rather divine white light. It doesn't seem like just a normal white light or anything from a lightning bolt or anything else of that nature. It seems almost divine in essence. And it appears over the entirety of the internment camp, and only the internment camp. But it only lasts for about 5 seconds before completely vanishing. And despite this white divine light appearing over the internment camp, it doesn't actually cast any light. As in, it doesn't blind you, it doesn't make it difficult to look at, it doesn't cast a shadow or anything along those lines. It's just this very odd anomaly. After the light disappears from the sky, you hear a bit of disarray and disorder coming from the internment camp. It only lasts for a couple of minutes before it eventually calms down. About 5 minutes later, Alistair walks out of the camp and walks over to you. To which, go ahead and roll sense motive. You rolled much better here. You can tell that he has accomplished some kind of goal. The reason why you came in here is because he wanted to do something, and whatever that may be, he has now managed to complete it, and he seems relatively happy with himself about this particular ordeal.
I should just look at him. Well, I waited this time, so are you gonna tell me what you did? What happened? I saw a big light.
Oh, I didn't realize that other people could see it like that. Did you see anything else?
Just a light. Big, bright light over the entire camp.
I see. Well, since we have both made a promise to be as truthful to each other as humanly possible, barring state secrets, I killed Peter.
Why? The cook?
Yes. I killed Peter Because he was a champion.
Of who?
Tither.
Aren't all your gods on the same side? Why would you do that?
Keeping himself deliberately out of range of the rope, to which you can tell that he is doing so on purpose. He says, you know, Ione has the ability for clairvoyance. She has the ability to interfere with any event that she desires because she is omnipotent and omnipresent. And yet she decides not to. Now, on some level, I can understand this. Logistically speaking, it's impossible for her to involve herself in every single day-to-day affair of us mortals. And hell, even on the perspective of that alone, of the gods not interfering with mortal affairs, while I do mildly disagree with that, I can at least understand it. However, there have been quite a few things that have happened that directly affect the gods themselves, and she has decided to do nothing. This being one of them. What I'm going to do is redo the Pantheon, because I no longer agree with Ione being in charge. So I'm going to remove the entire Pantheon. Peter was first, because he is the easiest. I will be going after Miss Sonia next, and then I will hunt down the rest afterwards. To which I will now give you a choice. You can either follow along with me and help me kill my targets, or I can leave you here. To which you'll pause for a moment. Not here, motioning to the pole. Here, and you'll motion back to the internment camp.
He looks at him. You're going to kill Gleam after we rescued her together?
Yes.
There has to be something. There has to be something else. There has to be another way, surely.
As long as those gods' powers exist and persist, there is no other solution. I am tired of all of these things happening. I could have at least been informed. But no.
Informed of what? What is happening?
I just told you. I'm going to be remaking the Pantheon. And the only way to do that is to kill the god. And the only way to kill a god is to do a ritual involving their champion, to summon that god, so that mine can kill theirs. I understand if this upsets you, which is why I'm giving you a choice.
Killing the gods doesn't particularly upset me. But the people, Gleam, I don't think I can help you with that. I don't think I could do that. You know, my mom and dad agree with you that sometimes, you know, there is places where the gods should act. And I think in that sense, I agree with you too. But I don't know. Gleam has done nothing but help people.
This is not
Why does
about
she
whether
have
or
to
not
pay?
she is a good or a bad person. She is simply in the way, and she simply needs to be removed. It's unfortunate that she is one of them.
Isn't that the entire purpose? Aren't you supposed to fight evil?
At this moment, what I view as evil are the gods themselves, so I'm going to remove them. I know that you've made your choice and that you wish to stay here, to which I will go inform the individual in charge as to where you are, as well as what special permissions to give you. But keep in mind that if you do escape from here, to which his head will tilt forward and stare at you a little bit more sternly, which I'm sure you're going to do. If you come and stop me, I will have to stop you.
So that's what it's going to come to. I'll have to beat the sense back into you. We're really gonna fight, not even over some stupid war, but cosmic reality. And our friends, maybe friends.
It seems
Well,
so.
At least tell me one more thing. Was this your idea, or was this Naihe's idea?
I asked him for the information.
She sighs. Well, that is upsetting. And unfortunate. Oh, and I wish it could be something different. Don't think this means I don't love you anymore. I'll drag you back from your quest and you'll be with me again. Just watch me.
Or you could simply wait until I'm done.
Don't think I can. I think you're gonna get yourself killed.
I don't think I will. I have to fight a chef, who I already killed, a school teacher, a woman who is very easily lost and very easily manipulated, one who's already dead, and I don't know the location of the last one, but I will eventually.
Well, I suppose this is where we have to part ways and wait for time to tell who's right and who's wrong.
Seems so.
Well then, do what you have to do. Don't fight Titan or my dad. Don't get into some weird grudge match. They're going to beat you. I'm sorry to say this, you don't have a chance against them.
They aren't my targets.
Stay alive. I'll miss you.
I'll miss you too. to which he will then take off the belt containing your rapier, place it on the ground, exactly 11 feet away. Before turning around and leaving.
Passes Mage Hand to pick it up as soon as his back is turned.
And Mage Hand does not work, to which you then immediately discover that the entirety of High Rock is under an anti-magic field.
Just look at her hands. Shit. What Bella was talking about. How did I get myself into this situation after I said I wouldn't? And she just starts beating the lamppost.
I like how you're so melodramatic.
Yes.
Yes, chat face.
Yes, Giga Chat.
Alright, well, let me ping Richard and Oni, because this is where your session would end. So let me ping Richard and Oni. The instant the ping happens. I'm pretty sure Oni was watching, so.
Equal.
Alright, so we'll wait for the other one. As for Luna, you get your own EXP before the next quote-unquote session, to which the EXP that you earn, including the roleplay stuff, 5,500.
5.
Hey, Luna, I love you. I'm killing your fucking boyfriend.
You're not doing shit.
I'm killing your boyfriend.
You're not doing shit. Anyways, I leveled up. Smile.
Right,
he killed Peter. He's got it coming.
Don't do your level up here.
Obviously.
Just hold on to it, because you're going to be getting more EXP, you know, between the three of you and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna look for spells now.
Yeah. Well, I guess you'll have about 10 minutes, maybe 15, to look for spells. I guess if you really want to do your level up right now, you can.
10 minutes to level up, easy. Watch me.
Because it's gonna focus on the other two for a little bit, so at least you'll have something to do in the meantime.
My level up was supposed to be 10 minutes. It devolved into a 4-hour call.
What?
Great.
I took a feat. Oh. It drastically changed everything about Kyra's life.
Boy.
Cool.
Okay.
What's the cap for level 8?
It's your new level times 1,000 added to the previous threshold. So you are now level 7, right?
Yeah, so
you add 7,000 to the previous threshold. If the previous threshold was 21, 28. Now it's 28.
Okay. Well, have fun with your session. I'm gonna level up.
Alright. So, to turn back the clock a little bit, as well as to explain why these two are here, again, Luna's session, I realized wasn't going to take more than an hour. So, instead of it just ending after an hour, I can do the planned session for these two that was planned for tomorrow to just do it today, so that I can take a day off tomorrow, because I haven't had a day off in about 2 weeks. Combined with D&D work and actual work. So, let me roll a 1d2 here, to which that lands on Kyra. So, Kyra, detail what happened last session.
Rosas was visiting Kyra and Atlas at their home, most likely between jobs. It was a nice little day. They were talking about romance, where these two should not be talking about romance. Rosas and Kyra are both the fucking leading fumblers of all the children. Only difference is Kyra managed to fumble successfully. It was a nice conversation until alarms started blaring. War were declared. The trio attempted to sneak their way out of High Rock, doing so somewhat successfully right up until they got caught. Turns out having only a single dinosaur in the entire city kind of makes her a little conspicuous. You know, when everybody knows who she is. So they got caught, they got shackled, they got thrown into a work camp. War were declared.
Yeah, that's pretty succinct. Rosa showed up for vacation and happened to be in the worst place at the right time.
Yeah.
So, starting from here, from the perspective of Kyra and Razas, turning back the clock a little bit, more or less. In relation to when you guys got captured, it would have been probably roughly 2 months ago, because that's when the war was officially announced, and then there would have been a small delay, maybe by a day, but still, roughly 2 months ago. During that time, you would have been forced to make, oh, I should actually change the music. Give me a moment. Let me go get the other playlist.
Alrighty. I was about to ask if we just continue the music you already sent in.
Nope. I actually have music for today's session. It is wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
Ja, wunderbar.
Wunderwall.
Wonderwall.
Don't think that's the music for today.
I would not put it past Shame to bust out Wonderwall randomly.
Alright, so... Does everyone have the other music up?
Yep.
This would be all three.
Yes.
Yep, I just pulled it up.
Alright. So as
I heard that opening riff, hee hee.
So as per usual, on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I wonder where you got this song from, hee hee.
And I still try and find ways to actually incorporate it. So, as I was saying before, Kyra and Razas, you were put into internment camp. You were put to work creating various things for the war. Everything from weapons and armor to small little kits, sometimes even making, food in massive batches and quantities. And I don't know if anyone here watches Tasting History. I don't know, just pick one of the rations from World War II. Probably the B rations. Hopefully not the K rations.
I'd make the K rations. Fuck them.
I don't know what any of that means.
And definitely, hopefully not the C rations.
No, you know what? These are Teldurians. They get the F rations.
There is no F rations. It's A, B, C, D, and K.
I'm making F. Stands for FU. No, they'd get the C rations. Fuck them.
Yeah, C rations were the most hated out of all the rations, despite K rations.
They're vile!
Despite the K rations being the literal last in line, last ditch effort of calorie intake, which includes graham cracker hardtack and flavorless chocolate.
Well, it's not flavorless.
Nice.
The flavor was garbage.
The flavor was no better than a boiled potato, from what people have said.
It was also usually flecked in white, meaning that it existed in a bag somewhere for a very, 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 very long time.
No, it existed in paper wrapping because it was made by Hershey. but it was just made intentionally bland so that people wouldn't eat it, because they didn't want people eating chocolate just willy-nilly. It's supposed to be emergency rations. Regardless, you would be going through and making various products for the war. One day, 2 months later, I would like the both of you to go ahead and make a perception roll. 2 months later, make a perception check.
Alright.
These have also been hell
Subtract.
for Kyra for the last 2 months.
Yes, because you would have been in iron shackles.
Oh, I did not upgrade my skill ranks, but too bad.
Oh no, you forgot to boost it by 1. Whatever shall you do?
Oh, I should probably also do that, huh?
I thought you leveled up Kyra properly.
I forgot the skills, so that'd be a 33.
Well, I accept the number that you put down, not what number you put after.
Fair enough.
British rations were no different from standard British cooking. True. And all British rations included tea, and all British tanks were outfitted with brewing tea.
That's why the talk 2 is so long.
The talk Tua.
I'm killing you.
Fucking
I don't
so easily baited. How are you
I don't
so
even have a-
easily baited?
I don't even have a witty response for that one. I'm just straight up killing you.
Oh, that's so easy. Anyway. As the both of you are working... Actually, you know what? Make a second perception check.
With the correct modifier.
Do a second check.
Okay. Kyra was the only one to roll high enough for the second check. Kyra, you need to make a religion check.
I ain't got one of those. What's that one based off of?
Intelligence, which I'm sure yours is a 0. Smile.
Damn.
Kyra's one of it. Intelligence is one of Kyra's higher stats. What do you mean? So, anyways,
Who said I was talking about Kyra?
Damn.
I kill you.
Alright, so as the both of you are working, just out of the corner of your eye, you notice a silhouette that is not particularly common in camp. At first you may think it's one of the purveyors walking around or coming into view, since they are relatively rare. However, when you look up, you notice that it's actually Alistair walking through the camp. To which he walks over to Peter, to which both of you actually rolled high enough, and both Alistair and Peter strike up a conversation, to which at first it seems like the basic amicable amenities and so on and so forth, but it is very clear that after a couple of seconds, Peter can already tell that something is wrong, or at least Alistair is up to something, and prevents the small talk from continuing. The two go back and forth, to which Alistair, as he talks, withdraws his bow. Peter seems confused, to which he laughs a little, and asks why he would be killing a prisoner in camp when he's one of the leading generals, to which Alistair would explain that he's not really here to kill a prisoner, per se, but he is here to kill a champion. To which both of you then hear him recite some weird chant. It's in a language that neither of you know, though I will allow both of you to make just a base int check here. Unless you have points in knowledge history, in which case you can roll that, but only half of the amount of points that you have.
Oh, no, I don't get that.
Nope. Just basic intelligence.
Okay. So Kyra did not succeed, but Razas did. To which Rozis, you can tell that it is an ancient archaic language, and you also immediately recognize that it's not a language that is spoken anymore. However, once this phrase is spoken, both of you notice this divine light simply fill the area, to which Kyra is the one that rolled high enough and immediately recognizes this as some kind of ritualistic endeavor, though you can't quite tell exactly what. However, you do spot the outlines of what you could only assume are deities of some kind. You can faintly hear fighting in the background, but the fight doesn't last more than a couple of rounds. Peter is immediately turned into a pincushion and falls to the ground dead. And then, moments after, something lands on top of him. As I said before, you can only vaguely see the outlines of what is going on, but one of those very large outlines seems to have fallen on top of Peter, crushing him, before both begin to apparate, slowly turning into specks of white dust and white ash.
It is at this point that Kyra screams at the top of her goddamn lungs.
Which then causes a cascade, because other people then begin to notice what's going on as Peter just dies and apparates, vanishing from view right before everyone's eyes. Eventually the purveyors come down and calm everyone down, but by the time they do, Alistair is nowhere to be seen. It seems somehow, through this particular ritual, he has just vanished. Obviously, we know that he left the camp and is now talking to Luna. But then, roughly a day goes by, and the both of you see a new face. Actually, not a day. Roughly a couple of hours go by, and the both of you see a new face. To which you find Luna being marched into the camp. However, she isn't brought to where you are in this particular station. She is brought into one of the households owned by the purveyor. And it is quite clear that she has been given special permission.
Wow, preferential treatment.
Yeah, we know who her boyfriend is.
That's crazy. You're acting crazy.
We'll say it's now, like a day later, to which, I don't know, Luna's been allowed out, to which, Luna, you are no longer in shackles, you are unarmed, but you are currently being monitored. Everywhere you go, there are 3 guards that follow you, and you have been given the special permission of going wherever you wish, as long as it is inside the camp.
Wonderful. I guess that means Luna immediately goes looking around for people she knows.
Go ahead and roll for perception.
I will.
Thankfully, your friends are like anime protagonists, constantly sitting in the back right-hand corner of the class looking out the window. Keep in mind that they're in the same exact chair, so one's stacked on top of the other. Think of it like card game protagonists. Everyone else has black hair that covers their eyes, except for the named people.
Ah, yes, the funky hair people.
Oh, funky hair people.
You find them on a conveyor belt line, not far from each other, actually, and it seems that they are in the process of mass producing kettle hats of varying types.
And the people following me around, they're still here?
Yes.
I assume this is long enough that they knocked the fucking hysteria out of Kyra.
Yeah, it's been over a day, so yeah. But I would like the three of you to roll for reflex as you're talking.
Oh god.
Reflex.
It'll be a surprise tool for later.
A test of your reflexes.
Oh god, I don't like that. Surprise tool for later.
We're getting whipped.
Maybe.
Combat music sting, yes. My wonderful motifs. It is around the corner. It's just a matter of when.
Let me check if that went up. It did not.
Okay. The three of you are now standing across from each other. Well, I guess Luna's on one side of the conveyor belt and Kyra and Razis are on the other.
I guess she'll lean over and whisper probably something like, "Wow, Roses, you're here too? I thought you were home."
Oh, hi, Luna. I would like to be, but you know, I was visiting Kyra here. It's more interesting that you are here.
Oh,
Atlas
well,
is also here. You'll look at that Luna and go, "Oh, who's this?"
who did you say is here?
Atlas.
Oh. He looks at the Foxboy for a moment. You've met me. You probably just don't remember me because the conversation wasn't really that interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I remember you at all.
Let me
I'm
introduce
Luna,
you to
and she
Luna.
holds out her hand.
His hands will raise up, to which they will get blocked, like a foot off of the conveyor belt. Yeah. Hi.
Gotta do something about that.
Kyra just giving Luna the stankiest eye right now.
Kyra, what are you so...
Your boyfriend
You
killed
don't-
our boss.
Yeah, we saw it.
So now we're
what
jobless.
actually happened? I only heard him tell me about it, but he wasn't very forthcoming with the details.
Kyra had the best view of it.
Your boyfriend drew his bow, chanted some ancient gobbledygook nonsense, and evaporated our boss.
Okay, sounds like you have no idea what actually happened because it's much worse.
I don't particularly care right now. Also, does Luna know that Kyra is pregnant?
No.
I think Luna is like one of two people who would not know that.
Well, Luna would now be able to see that she is pregnant.
Hey, it's been long enough. There's a bump.
She just, as she looks at Kyra, she does a double take. Wow, already?
Still just giving you the stank eye.
This is the most annoying city to be imprisoned in. Let me tell you. They turned off magic. This fucking sucks.
Yeah. How do you think I feel?
I don't know. I don't remember you doing all that much magic, to be honest.
Also, all three of us are chained to the conveyor belt, and you're just running around willy-nilly how you want to, and you're complaining that your magic is gone.
Kyra just holds up her hands as high as she can. Druid in chains. Not a good feeling.
Wait, are you mad at the iron? Isn't your entire hammer made of iron?
No. It's painted and polished. Agora is made of wood. Wood and stone. That's all it's ever been made of. It's an earthbreaker. Emphasis on earth.
This is kind of strange that an Earthbreaker is made of earth to break the earth. Shouldn't it be stronger than the earth to break the earth?
I don't know how it works. I just can't use metal. So I fashioned some... Shut up.
I don't know, you use iron to sharpen iron, right? So I guess the whole stone to break stone thing works?
I guess that's fair.
When did you become a philosopher?
Prison duster to a man, I guess.
Oh god,
Really?
really? To get you out of here?
Yes, please.
It
There's
is
nothing
at
here
this
to
point
do.
that the entire shop fucking explodes. As in, just completely goes up in flames. To
Jesus
which
Christ.
I get to roll a 10d10. Kyra failed the reflex save, so Kyra takes 54 damage. Razas passed, and Luna passed. So,
Yeah, Kyra's just unconscious.
So, the other two, if you have evasion, you take no damage.
I don't.
Really, Kyra doesn't have 54 HP.
She has 45 HP.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you have a +2 in con, that makes sense. Haha, you're so weak.
I had 54 exactly before the level up.
Well, you passed the reflex save, so you only take half anyway, unless you have evasion.
Yeah, sadly not. I should pick that up at some point.
The place explodes and something hits Kyra in the head because she goes fucking down like a sack of potatoes.
Yes, pretty much. The guards are flung. Atlas actually is kind of beefy despite being a non-combat class. Atlas is more or
Artisan
less...
has a weirdly high hit dice.
It's not bad. He has like a 5 in con.
He's so
fair.
strong.
He's just a beefy
that makes him
boy.
beefy.
Like, I know that his class is D8, which it really shouldn't have D8 considering everything it does. But, yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? The shop just explodes. People are flung everywhere. The guards are launched somewhere else. The chains that keep you attached to the conveyor belt are shattered pretty much on impact. And Kyra falls to the ground unconscious. And probably bleeding out, I guess, at this particular point.
9 points past max HP. She dodged a bullet.
And as for everyone else, you're a bit discombobulated. When the rest of you come to, you find that Atlas is tending to the wounds of Kyra. He's managed to stop the bleeding, but he doesn't really know how to heal anyone. To which he scoops her up into his arms and starts looking around, and it's very clear that he's just caring to find an exit. He doesn't particularly care about the well-being of others, since he currently has a very distinct priority to look after.
Dying pregnant wife, yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, that's fair.
To which I would like the two of you to go ahead and roll for perception.
And Luna will just look at Rosas as if she summoned the fireball and be like, well, I said we're gonna get you out of here.
I didn't say it was a
alive would be cool. Would be nice.
Okay, I'm calling every explosion fireball until noted otherwise.
Alright, Razus is the only one that succeeded in this particular roll. Razus, as you look around at the rubble and start hobbling your way out, following Atlas and Luna, you see that what caused the explosion was from a siege engine, specifically a cannonball of some kind. You don't exactly know what it would have been made out of or anything along those lines, but you don't think it hit the engine directly. You think it was already on fire, and when it made contact with the factory, that flame immediately caused a chain reaction that blew up the rest of the factory. When you all get outside and see pretty much all of these prisoners running around like chickens with their head cut off, you look out to the east and you see that there is an entire contingency besieging the city. To which, another bombardment is incoming. So, another reflex save.
Okay.
Oh boy.
But only from
Can
Razus and Luna.
Can I yell out hide quick enough to give a bonus to Luna?
Sure. That means the both of you would get a +2 bonus on this roll, because you would be able to see the bombardment incoming.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh yeah,
I'll take a +2.
You both do.
Man, Deflect Arrows specifically says I don't get to parry unreasonably large projectiles like cannonballs or ballista balls. That's in the wording.
So, with the help of Razus, even though he rolled relatively low, at least that extra +2 does help, since the DC was a 15. You both managed to quickly get back to cover, and survive the next round of bombardments. When you both peek out again, go ahead and make a perception check. Okay, you both pass, but Razus is the only one that passes the second perception check. When you peer out, you notice that the encampment has been bombarded in a way, and sure, there was some collateral and whatnot, if only due to the fact that there is a large presence of military here. But it is very clear that this encampment was bombarded in a way specifically to allow the prisoners to run free. Razus, when you look out upon the horizon, you notice that the main capital building of this city has been completely and totally reduced to rubble. And you've been here long enough to know that means the anti-magic field has been turned off.
I'm gonna immediately turn to Luna and shout, "You should have your magic back now. I think the dampener's gone."
Mage Hand to, I don't know, pick up a hammer.
You cast Mage Hand on the nearest object that you can find that's relatively light, and you find that your Mage Hand does in fact work. To which Atlas nods along to this and says, "Perfect. First order of business," and he'll point at Razus with one of his tails. You definitely need to find your equipment.
Yeah, yep, we do.
Alright, where would that be? He thinks for a moment. Fucking barracks.
Would Luna remember? Because
Actually,
was
yes,
given
Luna
relative
would know.
leeway.
So how about you just do a basic whiz check to recollect it?
20 plus 3, because I'm low wisdom, exactly as Luna should be.
Alright, so you do recollect it, you do remember. A lot of the equipment of the prisoners were stored in a nearby barracks, including your own. However, most of that stuff was separated into many different piles. Some of it were like little trinkets, to which they were just set aside, collected together, and occasionally brought out to either be sold or picked apart for its raw material. The basic weapons and armor were either refitted or reforged to be used by those in the military in the city, or melted down to be used for the same purpose. And the last pile were things that simply could not be reformatted in those particular situations. To which Luna would probably be very familiar with the equipment of both Kyra and Razas, to which you would also remember, because you did roll high enough for this as well, you would also remember that you do not recall seeing any of their equipment there whatsoever.
I know where they have equipment. Follow me. I didn't see your shit in particular, but maybe you'll get it with a little bit of searching. She'll lead the way.
Alright. In which case, since I know you guys don't want to engage anyone in fights at the time being, go ahead and roll for stealth.
You know what? No, I guess I didn't fucking think of it. But since I would think of it, I guess I just would use my 4 spell slots level 2 that I have to cast invisibility on everybody.
You can actually save one for yourself, because Atlas can cast invisibility on himself.
Okay, so I'm using 3 or 1?
You'd be using 3. What I mean by
Okay,
this in particular is that Atlas, being a kitsune, has access to a feat called Magical Tail. The amount of times that he takes it is the amount of tails that he grows. Right now he's at 7 tails, because he's taken it 6 times.
Crazy.
And the 5th tail gives him the ability to cast invisibility once per day. Because how the thing works is that it gives him spells of varying strength, but they can all only ever be cast once per day.
And I guess we need to turn Kyra invisible too, because a floating unconscious person is very conspicuous.
Correct.
Alright, well...
Okay. So that's a plus 20 from the invisibility, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Taps
as long as there
Roses.
don't be any offensive actions.
Do not intend to.
And when she taps him and casts invisibility on him, she'll just say, yeah, I think not being able to do this is worse than being in chains.
Do whatever you say.
As the spells are cast and everyone starts to sneak away, Atlas will ask if Luna at any point, if she saw where they were keeping any of the animals, because Kinara was separated from Kyra some 2 months ago, and they have not once been able to see her.
You try to remember animals, I guess. Another wisdom.
This is another whiz check. No.
No clue. I didn't look at the animal exhibit.
Okay. Then, I'm not following you. I'm gonna go looking on my own.
Alright, be safe.
Do you
Take
know
care
what
of your
Kyra's
wife.
shit looks like?
It's a big damn hammer, and I don't
Yeah.
know what her armor is.
Yeah, armor is inconsequential. The weapon is the most important part.
Good. I'll look for her big damn hammer.
We know the
That
dumbass
ugly
hammer.
thing.
We don't call the hammer ugly.
It is though.
If Kyra was conscious, she'd smack you right now.
Yeah,
So,
well,
Right, but she isn't.
at this point in time, we will split into two parties, to which I will actually start off with Kyra. I know that Kyra's unconscious, but what Kyra would be doing in this particular instance, or rather what Atlas would be doing in this particular instance, is trying to figure out a way as to where the animals would be located, how to find them, so on and so forth. They have obviously been all around this internment camp, and the animals aren't stored here. He knows that. So he doesn't know if they're placed in a different internment camp, or in another area at another end of the city, or if they were shipped elsewhere, or, God forbid, turned into food. But he also knows that he is not a fighter. He is not a combatant. And there is a military currently besieging the city. So he decides to stealth his way over to that camp. When he gets there, he is immediately surprised by what he sees, as High Rock is being besieged by an Athelian military. From there,
Crazy.
after entering the camp, he immediately runs over to one of the clerics, or at least one of the healers that they have on hand, explains the situation of who he is, where he was, that he was a prisoner, so on and so forth, to which they can tell because while the shackles, or rather the chains were destroyed, the shackles themselves were not. And they agree to help. Kyra is immediately healed to full and wakes up not long after, to which when you come to, Atlas then immediately explains the situation to you, motioning to the military as you are surrounded by just dozens upon dozens of bug folk. And obviously giving you as tight as a hug as he can in the process, to which, after you wake up, the individuals that are nearby ask if the both of you are willing to parlay with their commanders so that, you know, you can pass on any information that would be necessary in relation to High Rock itself. Because while they do know a little bit about the city from previous visits, or at least from occasional visits from those that are in the military, they actually don't know a lot, especially not with those who live in the city.
Of course. We know the city like the back of our hands. We'd be happy to help in any way we can.
They nod along and they seem pretty happy about this, to which they help you onto your feet and they direct you over to the two commanders that are leading the military, to which I will actually put these in general chat as well, because they are actually relevant. Hooray.
Huzzah.
Hooray.
To which you will find that you are standing before what looks like to be a pair of twin cat girls. However, they have 4 arms, they have antennae, just like the thigh cream do, with their hands and feet ending in chitinous claws, and while they may be covered in fur, their body seems to be segmented the way that insects are. To which, Kyra, you can go ahead and roll a perception check here.
Oh. Okay.
You're still a little groggy.
Roll high enough. The only thing that you roll high enough for one thing, but the others you don't. As for other aspects of what you notice here, you can tell that they are blind in one eye, but this blindness is in opposite eyes. They also have this weird, distinct damage to their body in the form of lightning that, again, is on opposite sides of the body, trailing from head all the way down to their feet. To which you did roll high enough for the second one. Go ahead and roll Knowledge Religion, which I don't think you have, so it's just a basic beat check. Okay, you did not actually get it. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
To which, when they get close, the very first thing that you notice is that when they talk, they either talk simultaneously, or when they're not talking simultaneously, they talk in a way where they are actively completing each other's sentences. Now, I know that sounds kind of like a romantic thing that a lot of people put up, like, oh, they know each other super well. The way that this feels is that they are connected to one mind, and the mind just chooses which body happens to be talking at any given time. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. To which they announce themselves to... They also apologize because they see that the both of you are damaged, to which they apologize for the bombardment hurting anyone. They were, one, trying to release any and all prison camps that they could find from the distance that they were at, as well as take out the most important buildings that they could find. After which they give you their names, to which the one on the left is Maraven Zo, and the one on the right is New Dith Zo. However, if you wish to talk to them, they do accept the name Meredith as a moniker.
It's a pleasure to meet you both. Don't worry. I took a pretty nasty bump, but nothing I apparently couldn't get back up from.
They'll nod to this and, again, apologize, to which they'll turn back to the city, and would the kids recognize that name? Only a few. Probably actually only 4. To which Kyra is not one of them. However, to continue, they turn back to the city, and they'll ask if the anti-magic barrier is down, because they know that it is, or at least they believe that it was attached to the main building, the main capital building of the city, and if they tore it down, the barrier should go with, but they are too far away to be able to cast Detect Magic to determine if the barrier is down or not.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I've been locked in shackles. I don't have my magic right now. Atlas, hun...
They nod along, to which Atlas would answer. He would say yes, the barrier is down. And they'll go, perfect. To which they will then raise all 8 of their hands, creating kind of, what's the best way? They create effectively a ritualistic sigil by crossing their arms and hands and positioning their bodies in the way that they act more like a conduit before unleashing an absolute torrent of lightning bolts all across the city, trying to cause as much destruction and mayhem as possible. Though, Kyra, you can go ahead and do a perception check here.
One of 4.
Alright, you can tell that even from this distance, they are actively targeting places that are considered to be high concentrated locations of where the military or the city guard would be located. To which, after this massive bombardment and display of their power, they relax for a moment and turn back towards the two of you and say, well, considering that you were prisoners, you are free to stay here if you wish and relax, though we are about to do an offensive. And if you are truly denizens of this area, I believe it would be a smart idea to send a contingency or two with the both of you so that you can scour areas that may or may not have pockets of resistance. Is probably the best way to put them.
I'm happy to help, but there's one thing I have to do first.
And what is that?
When we were captured a few months ago, I was separated from my other half. I need to find her.
They look at each other, and then they look at you, and one of them raises an arm and points at Atlas.
No, an animal companion I've been with my entire life.
Atlas will look at you and go, thanks.
You know I love you, but we've been together for...
That's awesome.
She's just gonna lightly pat him on the chest. Don't be like that. I love you with all my heart, but Kira and I have been together our entire lives. Being separated this long, it's never happened to us. I need to know if she's okay.
I just say you're gonna bang the dinosaur or whatever, I don't care. To which the twins will raise a hand and just go, okay, and just stop talking. You're raiding their ears. If you're trying to look for your animal companion and you know that it's in the city somewhere, the best thing to do is to take a contingency with you. If you can help us, they can help you. You don't even have to do any of the fighting.
I can happily agree to that.
Good. To which they'll whistle. Another captain will come up. They'll talk to each other, chittering back and forth in Athelian, before the captain runs off. After about 10 to 15 minutes, they will come back with a contingency of about 20 men. 20 for Kyra and 20 for Atlas. Atlas will look at you and go, well, I think the best thing to do would probably to split up, yes? You can go clockwise, I can go counterclockwise.
That makes the most sense.
Unless you want to go clockwise.
I don't think it really matters which way we go.
Sure. I guess we'll figure it out when we get there. Alright. Let's go. Oh, he'll turn back to the twins. Can I have a spear, please? To which they'll nod, and after a couple of minutes, he'll get his own spear.
Would you have a hammer by any chance?
To which they'll nod, and they'll hand you a hammer. Like a smithing hammer.
Would you happen to have a great hammer?
They'll go, oh, you should have been more specific. To which
apologies.
They'll take the smithing hammer and come back, and it is a great hammer. And like all great hammers at that time, are made of metal.
Sighing, she takes the hammer. I'm already devoid of my magic right now anyways.
You actually can't wield anything metal either.
Oh yeah, right. She tries to hold it and just immediately drops it.
They will return the smithing hammer to you, which at the very least does have a wooden handle.
It'll have to do.
Alright, you and Atlas then leave the camp, leading your small contingencies to go throughout the city. Meredith, on the other hand, will lead, or at least command, the rest of the contingencies to start spreading out through the city in a rather root-like orientation, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Yeah,
Turning
I don't like
back,
hearing the Meredith and Root in the same sentence.
smile. It's almost like I did that on purpose or something. Anyway,
No!
turning back to Rozis and Luna, forgot it for a moment. Both of you go ahead and roll another perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'd be more afraid of a monkey with a normal fucking hammer more than one with a giant wooden mallet. Great Hammer Monkey is a warrior. Smithing Hammer Monkey is unpredictable and violent.
No, the honey badger of monkeys.
You were still under the effects of invisibility.
Yeah. You said perception.
Oh shit, sorry. Well, I still need the perception checks, but I meant stealth check.
Okay, well...
Oh, okay.
So stealth checks as well, sorry.
I was very concerned what invisibility is going to help me for perception for a moment.
Fair. Ooh.
Christ.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well,
good.
Thank God for that.
You're
plus 20.
invisible. They can't see you, so you can't see them either.
Okay. You march well, I guess you stealth your way, it's not really marching, but you make your way through the city, doing your best to take the larger streets, while it is more of a risk to get caught due to the soldiers running around everywhere. You do know that the larger streets are the ones that are connected to the more important buildings, to which you go up and down the streets, and after your third try, you do manage to find what Atlas, or at least what Luna was describing before, and you make your way inside. When you get there, Luna, you were pleased to know that your weapon in particular is still there. It's been hung up and put into a section with a bunch of other places that either can't be broken down or have been chosen to not be broken down. One of the things that you find there as well, because you did actually roll past a 25, yep, you also find Kyra's hammer. However, every other piece of equipment that Kyra and Rozis had is no longer there. Luna, you at least do find the rest of your equipment. So in this particular instance, this means Kyra, you no longer have armor. You can leave it on your sheet down in, section 4, but just make sure it's not being applied to your AC. Though I guess you don't really have to adjust that just yet, considering that you can always just buy more. You keep your weapon, but anything else that was in your equipment is gone, including your gold. And then as for Rozis, you no longer have a weapon, you no longer have your armor, you don't have to delete them from your sheet just yet, considering that you can buy more, and then everything else in your equipment is gone, including the gold.
Oh man, I just bought the Traveler's Any tool, god damn it.
It.
Luna will not gesture because she's invisible, but she'll just tell Rozis, well, go look for your stuff, and if you don't find your stuff, then I guess just pick something random. I'm gonna check the trinkets while you go pick something out for yourself, and maybe Kyra, if you know her armor preference and size. And while he's doing that, Luna will begin casting Detect Magic onto the trinkets, actually. The rings, the necklaces. See if there's like any magic item among them.
Which Rozis, obviously you find nothing.
Can I just find a basic elven curved blade?
Go ahead and make another perception check.
A basic rare-ass exotic weapon.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the place where most elves live, so it is not unreasonable to assume that they might have it.
Lucky.
Yes, you do find another blade.
Okay, that's nice actually. But just my Shida, I can do it in a second. Can I also find a brain shard?
Go ahead and make another perception check. That was almost a nat 20. Yes, you do find another chain shirt.
Okay, so I don't at least have my basic equipment, just not upgraded. That's okay. That's okay.
Luna will just be looking for magic items until he's done finding his shit and gives her a signal or something.
What kind of magic items?
I said mainly through the trinkets. If she gets through with them, she'll start with weapons and armor. Well, start with armor, then go to weapons. She casts detect magic for that.
Roll for perception.
So essentially, she just takes a piece, casts detect magic, and then takes another piece, so forth.
Alright, I would like you to roll a 1d12. Go ahead and roll a 1d100. 13. You find an item called Death Watch Eyes. These are blood-red crystal lenses that fit snugly over the wearer's eyes. While you are wearing them, you gain the constant effect of the Death Watch spell.
Oh.
They're Bloodborne glasses.
Cool.
With the red tints that tell you if something is dead.
Or fragile.
Wonderful.
Let's see. You determine the condition of creatures that are near death, basically. You know whether any creature is dead, fragile, which is specifically for constructs, fighting off death, healthy, undead, or neither alive nor dead.
Exceptional. I guess I will wear them. Because
Why?
what else are you gonna do?
Sell them.
Well, I mean, for now, I can't sell something in the middle of combat.
I guess that's true. So you're just keeping them. You don't have to wear them. You can just put them in your equipment section.
Yep, I'll just put them on.
So you're actually just gonna wear them. Okay.
Yeah, she'll probably take them off when she becomes visible again, because she thinks they look silly on her.
You know what? I guess you can just wear them until you feel like not wearing them anymore. You are in war after all. A very common tactic in war is to pretend to be dead. So these glasses can actually help you out a little bit to make sure that you're not getting ambushed.
Exactly.
The good old play dead.
So I guess you can just wear them.
Yep. Excellent. So
that would be it. And then the two of you make your way out. Rozis has found some replacement equipment for the weapons and armor that he used to have. Thankfully, he got lucky enough to find one. And Luna found some 6 shades. Granted invisibility, I think it's just 1 round per level or something like that.
no, it's a minute per level.
Is it?
Yeah. 1 round per level is the vanishing trick from Ninja. Invisibility is
okay.
actually a minute.
Alright, so it is a minute. Well, you're only level 7, so it really wouldn't last all that long.
Yep.
And considering that you spent some time in there looking for shit,
Yeah, they probably went visible midway through.
partway through, and then you leave. So now, having found your equipment again and ready to get into the fray, you leave the building, and are you going to cast invisibility again? You only got 1 left.
Yeah, I only got 1 slot, so if we're getting caught, we're getting caught together.
All right. To which, where would you go? Would
Good
you
to
start
know.
making your way back to the internment camp, or where would you go somewhere else?
No reason to. I guess we go where the shots came from, because those are probably where friendlies are.
Yeah, we still need to find out what army's actually attacking us. Or not
Which
us,
would mean
the
that
city.
you would technically be going back towards the internment camp, which is fine.
True.
Because you have to go north in order to get to
Yeah.
where they are. Because while they're east of the city, they're like in the mountain, or at least one of the hilly areas there for heightened leverage. And as you're walking
Alright.
through the streets, I would like the both of you to go ahead and roll stealth.
Well, no plus 20 this time.
Yeah, no
That's
plus 20
fine.
this time. Alright, you do pretty well sneaking through the city, though Luna does not sneak as well as Rozas does, which I'm pretty sure is literally just because of a size difference.
More or less, yeah.
I think you guys have the same dexterity and the same amount of ranks into it. It's just since yours is 4 higher, that's definitely a size bonus.
Yep, that is the size bonus.
So, you make your way, and Rozas is a lot better at staying hidden than Luna is. And the both of you are caught partway through sneaking your way through the alleys to get back to the internment camp. And you find that there are a few guards that catch you along the way, again, specifically because of Luna. And then a moment later, just this massive trail of magical lightning energy spreads out over the streets in a wild, rapid fashion, at least from your perspective. And the guards are completely obliterated from this particular attack. The only reason why you two are spared is because you were in an alleyway, and these lightning strikes seem to follow along the main streets. You were also not that far off from the building that you were just in, and that building in particular got completely obliterated. Sure. Go ahead and make another
Damn.
stealth check. And Kyra,
Yep.
make a perception check.
Can I make a perception check also to try and see what was special about this building that warranted it getting turbo fried?
A perception check wouldn't state that, but
Okay.
player knowledge would,
So that-
which is that it was deliberately targeted because it's considered an important building.
Okay,
So that was supposed to be the reverb duck. I don't know what happened.
I've completely fucked up my stealth check. It's a 15, not a 22. I don't know why I typed 22.
Okay. Luna and Rozas make a perception check.
I see nothing.
Alright, as you are making your way back through the city towards the northern end, you find that I'll just say you run into Kyra, just because it's player and player instead of NPC and player. You run into Kyra, who seems to be leading a small contingency of about 20 soldiers in a clockwise fashion through the city. And it's very clear that she is looking for something, and considering previous conversations, you can probably assume what she's looking for. Kyra does not notice you, though. Her perception is not high enough.
Yep. And then Luna will sneak up to Kyra, and Kyra will feel the familiar touch of her hammer tugging on her, I say, right arm.
There is zero hesitation. The smithing hammer is dropped as Kyra whips around and just grabs Agora out of Luna's hands, holding it up like, yes.
And Luna changes her voice to something like high-pitched and silly, and she's like, Master, I have come home to you.
What?
Just like... Kyra just slowly lowers her head, like eyes half lidded as she looks at Luna. Don't.
I think your hammer's
No.
talking to you.
Don't make this weird.
I didn't say anything. I think your hammer's talking to you. I think you might be getting a little bit delusional.
Oh,
Did you get
ha
enough
ha
sleep?
ha. Oh ha ha. Next thing we're gonna find Kinara, and you're gonna pretend that she's talking to us next. Smartass.
I mean, speaking of sleep, you're awake again? Good. Did you find a healer?
Atlas managed to bring me over to the two generals. Apparently when we got there, they saw that I was in bad condition and healed me back up.
Oh, you should probably meet them. I guess we'll help you find your
generals?
pet.
Who's helping us here? Who's attacking?
Their names are Mera and Dith Vol, was it? Oh,
The names
I don't know,
that
but-
you would tell them is that it's Mera Ven Zo and Edith Zo.
they also said that we can just call them Meredith.
To which Luna would immediately know that name.
Let me just roll a quick bluff here. Yep.
What are you bluffing?
Like that name is unfamiliar. Like she doesn't immediately jump at hearing the name Meredith.
Okay, that means Kyra and Razas can go ahead and roll Sense Motive, since bluff is always a contested check.
Let me ask, would have Locke and Dolas told the name to the kids?
I'm sure the kids would have been told, because it's also part of Kalnorian history in general. But
I would think so.
I don't think Razas would be in a position to be intimately familiar with the name, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, the name would sound familiar, and in Razas' mind, it'll probably come across as, oh, that's just like the name of insert historical figure here. But you wouldn't be as attached to the name as Luna would.
I don't have sense motive. Would that be a wisdom check?
Correct. But you still need to make the roll anyway.
No,
Okay, both individuals somehow can tell that Luna is lying, or at least trying to hide her feelings on the matter once hearing the name.
Hey Luna, you doing that?
Too?
You doing that little tick you do when you're lying? Are you good?
I'm not lying. Lying implies I'm saying something wrong. I'm intentionally not saying anything at all. Yeah, I guess that name wouldn't mean all that much to you. Meredith is my dad's mom. Like, his biological mom.
Wait, the one from all of our parents' stories?
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
you know, the bitch who killed Layla?
Oh, what the fuck?
What did Meredith look like?
Well, they looked pretty distinctly Athelian. They were twins. Both kind of looked like Cousin Suki with the cat-like features, but they had the distinctly Athelian, like, bug-like joints. It seemed like they had some pretty severe lightning scars.
Oh,
You know, that's a lot to unpack there. What the fuck is going on?
I think I'll have to ask them, but I think that means I have more sisters, or at least cousins. Probably more likely cousins, but... Oh.
Well, that's kind of exciting, isn't it? Maybe?
Terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know if that is exciting.
Now I definitely want to meet them, but we still have to find your pet. Which I guess is what we were doing in the first place.
Don't call her a pet, you bitch.
Tell me what she is if not a pet.
My partner.
No, Atlas is your partner.
No, Atlas is my boyfriend. Hopefully, my husband. Kinara is my other half. She's my partner.
You know that other half you use for your lover. I hope you've not been doing this in front of Atlas. He would get upset.
Kyra's just gonna like roll her eyes, holding her hands up in defeat. Fucking semantics and words. Can we please just go find my dinosaur?
Yes, sure. I'm just saying you that calling somebody your other half in front of your husband/boyfriend is pretty mean.
Yeah, even I know that.
She's just gonna sigh in defeat, still holding up her hands, turn around and start walking away.
I guess Luna will follow.
Yeah, I guess somehow Telduria managed to piss off Ifel too. Okay.
My best guess is while we were locked up, Telduria tried to pull some shady shit and invade Ardwall?
Well, they did invade Ardwall because, it's funny, Alistair and I talked about this like a year ago, and he said this would happen if there was ever war. That Kelnar would bring their heirs to Ardwall, and then Telduria would attack Ardwall because they want to capture the heirs to end the war.
You know,
He's
I'm
good.
starting to notice that your boyfriend seems to know a lot of what's happening.
He should. He's the leader of the Teldurian military. Before you blame anything on him, he's not at fault for this at all. We got the information that Telduria was under siege, well, specifically Tarantus, and we went there from Dun Aemon, only for him to uncover that there was a lot of shit wrong with this invasion, and he said he would be going back and would not be participating, and if anybody came to Dun Aemon, he would fight them, regardless of Kelnorian, Teldurian, or any other army. He doesn't want any part of this.
And yet he seemed so willing to use the war to his advantage to kill Peter.
Oh, he would have done this regardless of the war. This is a whole nother problem. Can we get into this later? This is a real problem, and I think we need to discuss that when we actually have time to discuss something.
Oh, trust me, I plan on bringing this up plenty.
Yeah, okay.
Just looks over her shoulder,
just
giving you the stink eye. Yeah, she's not going to get over this for a while, by the way.
I assume you are all now going to look for where Pinera may or may not be kept.
Yep.
All right. The three of you go ahead and roll for perception.
I have to look for big dinosaur and hope it hasn't been made to big dinosaur meat.
Big dinosaur.
Yeah, considering she is very big right now.
Yeah, sure. I guess I'm still distracted by Meredith.
He's discombobulated.
What I have learned today.
Apparently, Rozes does not care about dinosaur.
Big dinosaur.
Oh, knock it off, Missler. You are not the dinosaur. Okay, maybe you are a little dinosaur. Roz's fails. Thankfully, Kyra is the one leading, but Luna's the only one that actually passes. As you are walking through the city, clockwise, you get near the pier, to which you find a good portion of the pier completely and totally destroyed. And when you get there, you hear a voice just calling out, "Hello? Hello? Help."
I guess I'll go help, because that's what Luna would do. Luna helps people smiles.
Alright, so, perception check again from the three of you.
Who was that?
I don't know. The voice was really unfamiliar.
Apparently, Luna is the only one that succeeds. Both Kyra and Roz's do not. The rubble is simply indistinguishable from the two of them. For the two of them. So, Luna, leading the charge, starts to walk through the rubble that is here, and can tell that there had to have been some kind of operation here of some sort. Obviously, it's impossible to tell what it was, but the voice continues to call out. And when it's clear that the voice can hear the three of you getting closer, the voice gets a little bit more excited. It goes, "Yay! There's someone outside! I'm over here! Help!" To which eventually you come to an area where the rubble is very clearly having fallen on something. However, whatever is inside, or whoever is inside, is not entirely crushed. So, Luna, directing Kyra, since Kyra is the stronger out of everyone here, to move over to a bit of rubble, because it's clear that it seems to be blocking some kind of exit, and for Kyra to lift it up. So, Kyra, go ahead and make a strength check.
Bet.
Alright. You are actually able to lift it off completely by yourself. You don't need any help with it. You grab the rubble, bending down, lifting with your legs, despite the fact that you were pregnant, and lift the rubble off the exit that seems to be blocked by it. In the process of doing so, you were the last to see, because both Luna and Rozis can see that behind this rubble, trapped behind this rubble, is a dinosaur. Rozis would be much more familiar, Luna absolutely not. From Luna's perspective, it is just this white Pachycephalosaurus, this white Pachydino, completely unfamiliar to her in every single way imaginable, especially since the only dinosaur that you do know was roughly half the size of this one. To which, Rozis, you were actually more familiar with the size of this dinosaur, because despite the coloration difference, you can immediately tell based on the patterns that are underneath, because while they may be all white now, there are still patterns of their previous green coloration. You have found Kinara, and she is talking. To which she goes, "Hooray! Yay!" and rushes out. To which, Kyra, when you finally turn around, you find Rozis being sat on by Kinara. And her tail waggling rapidly. And she goes, "Yay! I made it out! I'm free!"
Luna would just immediately look at Kyra, imitate her voice, and say, "Oh, I don't think Kinara is going to talk anytime soon."
Kyra does not have anything to respond with. She is dumbfounded, staring at Kinara like wide-eyed, mouth agape right now.
Please get off of me. You're too heavy for this.
However, she
thank
will
you.
then turn around and give him one big lick before running over to Kyra and pouncing on her and pinning her to the floor.
Kinara?
To which Kinara, obviously to have no idea what actually happened, will start rambling about what has been going on for the past 2 months, which she goes by very quickly in this particular regard, almost rattling off event after event after event. And what she describes is that there was apparently an operation here nearby the docks where animals were examined and taken care of, at least moderately, specifically so that one of two things could happen. The first is that they would be shipped off because any previous ties to their previous owners would be magically severed, or they would be prepared for food. And when they got to her, they were actually in the process of severing her connection to Kyra, when suddenly a holy beam, energy, light, so on and so forth, came down from the heavens, and she starts talking about this in the most fantastical and childish way imaginable. Before she turned all white just like this, and she strikes a pose. And now she's smart. She knows what the color blue is. It is blue. To which all three, we can go ahead and roll knowledge religion.
It's official.
I'll just wait until you find out about blue.
It's official. I went insane back at the camp.
Do we roll even if we don't have it?
Yes. Fucking nat 1. Good job, Kyra.
That's the second religion nat 1 today.
Good thing I'm so much better at it.
Alright. The way that Kinara describes as to what happens, Luna recalls a story that her parents talked about, for one of their first dates, and the magical effects that happened around that time that allowed that event to happen. To which Luna leans over to Kyra and whispers, or at least declares or proclaims, that the only goddess that could have ever done this is Ione.
It's at this point that something clicks in Kyra's head as she just lays her head back. Oh my god, they were listening.
After
She then proceeds.
speaking this... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
She then explains to Rosas and Luna that literally every day since they've been separated, Kyra has been praying. Which is very, uncharacteristic of her, but apparently someone was listening.
As the
damn.
words leave Luna's lips, she kind of stops herself for a second. And she's like, Ione never interferes. Why does Ione start interfering now? And why exactly on your dinosaur? What? I've been growing up 22 years hearing, Ione doesn't interfere, regardless of what happens, even in the worst circumstances imaginable. Even in the worst thing known to man comes to pass, Ione does nothing, because that's how Ione functions. And now she enchants your dinosaur? Are you kidding me?
Out of character here, it's also ironic that Alistair said Ione very rarely ever meddles.
Yes.
Yes.
Haha, Keener is special.
I mean, I guess I would have understood it if you would have done the pilgrimage, but this is... Yeah, that is wild.
Wait, Ione doesn't have a chosen as far as I know. Is Kinara Ione's chosen?
That can be it.
Well, Kyra is officially tuned out of the conversation. She's just hugging her dinosaur now.
Kinara
She's
is
just
trying to
hugging
do the
her-
same in return.
With them tiny little arms.
Well, if she is, we're in trouble, and we must not let anybody find out about this. Let's just make up a story that, I don't know. Kyra knows her best. Kyra has to make something up, but we cannot, under any circumstance, let anyone else have the same ideas I do.
Well, realistically speaking, Kyra's just gonna kind of get out from underneath Kinara. On top of the fact that Kinara is a very well-known entity around this area, it would also be easier for us if she was able to travel around and get around easier. With her being able to communicate now, we could try giving her the occasional polymorph potion. It'd be hard to locate Kinara if she isn't Kinara.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about we're not telling anybody about a bright light and Yoni interfering in this. Kinara just changed on her own, okay? Because you took such good care of her.
I mean, yeah, I'm willing to roll with that.
Probably a good
But do you
idea.
really think that your boyfriend is going to not find out?
If I'm right, big if, I don't know if I'm right. I hope I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. But if I'm right, every day that we delay him finding out is good for us.
I mean, we
Fair
could
enough.
find like a cleric, I guess. I'm pretty sure the champions are supposed to have like a big aura. I guess a cleric would be able to tell if she's actually the chosen or just got a blessing.
That's
I
true.
suppose. I think one of you Kalnorian's parents is actually a cleric. No?
I mean,
Was it Lysandra?
Sandra was a cleric. I think she had the ability to see stuff like that.
Yeah, Auntie
I think-
Lysandra would be able to help.
I think
But
we
I have
can.
no idea where she is.
Well, if we can find her, I would trust her. I don't think I want to trust random people we just met, even if they saved us, at least for this specific instance.
I mean, I don't know if clerics have to like turn on their aura vision or whatever, but if they don't, then random clerics will just see her and find out.
Yeah. Should we get back?
Yes, please.
Is your boyfriend also looking? He's probably also looking.
Coincidentally,
try to-
he actually appears not too long after. To which, with his contingency, and after connecting the two contingencies of 20 soldiers nod to each other and march off elsewhere, as they do have other orders to follow. To which he'll look around and he go, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh great, she's white? Great. And by the way, we can control the dinosaur since it's still in your character.
As he says that, she also leans forward and says, "Hello."
Oh great, it can talk now.
Yeah, that caught us off guard too.
No, only you.
His eyes narrow and goes, since you're intelligent enough to speak now, assuming that it's intelligence and not some divine bullshittery, you're not gonna chew on the pillows anymore, are you?
That all depends. Are you actually going to get me that chew toy that she's been asking you to buy?
You have 12?
I had 12.
No, you still have 12. You just don't like them anymore.
Not to get in the middle of this too much, but I think neither the toys nor the cushions still exist.
He'll turn back towards the city. Yeah, probably.
That's why I said I had 12.
Oh, aren't you a smartass?
Apparently, yes. I wonder who I get that from.
Your mother. Where are we going
Please.
next?
Well, I think you found some friends. I would like to be introduced to them.
Friends?
At-shaped twins.
Oh, you mean the commanders. I don't know why you're calling them friends. I do not know where they are now, but we can make our way back to the camp if you would like. Maybe they are still there.
We should. And then we should probably do our best to link up with the royal kids of Kelnor because they're still being hunted.
Well, the best way to do that, from what you have told us, that they are over in Ardwall, would be to hook up the teleporter and hope that their teleporter is still active, because the very first protocol that this country goes through, or rather every country goes through, is to turn off their teleporters so that armies cannot engage through it. So that is a very small chance.
Makes sense. Maybe they
gotta
guild
try
is
anyways.
still standing.
What did you say, Rosses?
Maybe if the guild here is still standing, if the Aphelians didn't destroy it.
It's actually still standing. I walked past it when I was coming here. It seems like that was on purpose, so they are probably intending on keeping it up.
Okay, nice.
What did you say, Luna?
No, nothing, I just said well.
Well, back to the camp, I guess. It's over this way, and he'll lead you through the city, and as you do, he seems to be completely uninterested on the skirmishes that are happening all around the city, sidestepping them as they are considered more inconvenient than anything else. And as you all walk through the city, you can see that the fighting is leaned very heavily into the favor of the Athelians. Many of the skirmishes that you run into are won by the Athelians by the time you walk by. Eventually, you make your way back up to the camp, and indeed, the commanders are still there. It seems that the both of them are standing around a small table nearby a couple of cannons, and they are observing the city from their bird's eye view, occasionally sipping from their cups of tea. When the group approaches, their heads will turn towards the group, to which Rosas and Luna would learn pretty much everything that Kyra and Atlas learned before, that they speak in a way as if they are one person in two bodies, or one mind in two bodies, to which they ask if you are also denizens of High Rock, before pausing momentarily, and their eyes settle on Luna for a moment. And they say, "Oh, small world to see similar blood so soon."
You just... I knew it. No, we're not from here, but thank you for freeing us.
Mm-hmm.
We were also imprisoned here. You said similar blood. Are you the Queen's daughters, by any chance?
The Queen of Athel? Well,
Yes.
no, because I am the Queen of Athel. If you're referring to the previous one, then yes, we share fathers.
Just smiles a little bit. Well, it's nice to meet you, sisters. Are we sisters? Are we cousins?
I think we are considered half-siblings, to which they will motion to the tea that is nearby and offer Luna, and only Luna, if she would like some tea as well.
Thank you kindly.
What'd you say, Kyra?
Isn't that great, Luna? You have siblings.
I have more siblings.
Yeah, but now you have
That does make
even
me a
more.
little happy. Although they never met their dad. It's a little bit sad. Then she asked them, "Would you like to? I could take you home when, all this is over, when we have a little time. Unless you don't even want to know him."
It matters not to me. We know why we were conceived, to which it is simply a pursuit of power. There was nothing wrong with that. If we cross paths, we cross paths. But clearly we have a war here to settle. Though I do know that after the city is captured, I most likely will simply be consolidating my power. I know that Telduria is already at war with Kelnor, and if I recall correctly, also at war with the Aquan Society. But I have no interest in trying to divide the lands between 3 different countries. I simply want this region.
I see. Yeah, it seems like Telduria will be quite tied up in Tarantus. Half the city has already fallen to Kelnor.
Only half. They must not be all that adequate in the ways of war. To which they'll smile at this and sip from their tea.
Hey now.
Well, we'll ask them if we get around to it. So you just plan on ending here and keeping what you captured?
Yes. The Fel was looking to expand, and while we do have some serious qualms to settle with Telduria, I assume that this is a nice announcement of independence.
Yes, I do believe you have a much better position at the bargaining table than Telduria does right now.
Yes, all we really wish for is this particular peninsula, and everything should be good.
So if the question's not too invasive, and she points at the lightning shape on their bodies, I've heard about a similar phenomenon, though I somehow can't believe this is it.
What phenomenon are you referring to?
And she recounts the tale of how Meredith absorbed the orb, which was then put into Reich.
To which they'll raise an eyebrow at Luna and go, I have no idea what you're referring to.
That's quite alright. I didn't think you would. It was just an off chance.
As you wish.
No matter.
Well, stick around, stay here. It's probably best if you simply wait an hour or so. This battle should be done very, very shortly.
Are you planning on reactivating the teleporter? Because we would very much like to go to Ardwall.
The Mercenary Guild is a very important building to keep, but if you wish to use the teleporter, I don't see why we can't turn it on for a little while. I assume you wish to make this a one-way trip, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that is something that I can do. Though I do not know how to activate or work the teleporter. Do either of you know how to?
Out of character, do we?
Luna probably would.
I have watched the procedure a few times. Not that I was invited or anything, but I'm confident I can do it.
Well, if you can get it running, we do not mind allowing a singular one-way trip for the 3 of you.
Oh, is he not allowed to come with? And she points at Atlas.
I didn't realize you wished for him to come. didn't say anything. To which he'll narrow his eyes in mild annoyance. This is my girlfriend, so I assume so. And they would look him up and down and go, okay.
Well, thank you for all your help, and I hope we can catch up sometime.
If that is what you wish, we will probably be here or in the Thal, whichever is more convenient for us.
I'll keep them in mind. Thank you for the tea.
Enjoy.
And she'll stand up, go back to her group. Well, we've been allowed to go. You got anything else keeping you here, or can we take off?
Who are you asking that to?
The group. Kira, Roses.
Well,
Atlas said my
peddlers.
house that's destroyed apparently.
So it's not keeping you here.
Do you think we'd have time to go and check if anything from the house survived?
We walked past it. There is no house. Ironically enough, the house that we were looking to buy next year when we had saved up enough money was mostly untouched.
There goes that plan.
Yep.
Oh, I need to ask one more thing. And she just skitters back to them. Are you chosen of any gods, perchance, or are you just naturally this powerful?
They'll smile and wave their hands, specifically the red ones, as it glows with energy. And they would say, nice of you to notice. We don't need gods for this.
Do I realize what this means? Like, what kind of magic they have in them?
Oh, it's just arcane magic. That they're showing off that they are effectively powerful without the need for gods. However, you can go ahead and make a knowledge arcana check.
I would love to. I'm actually not horrible at Arcana, I think.
When they show off their magic, you immediately recognize the magical signature, as it is extremely similar to yours.
And before she turns away, she'll just say, well, looks like blood's not the only thing we share, but, you're much better than me. And then she just turns around.
As you do, they say, I know.
Internally, she's like, fuck, I hate to admit this, but they're awesome. And she links back up with the group.
alright.
Seems like you were all sitting around for a little while. To which, after several hours pass, one of the captains runs back up to the camp and delivers a message to the generals, or rather, the queens. And they nod along. You can't hear the conversation, as it is relatively soft-spoken and at a distance. But from the body language that they have, it seems more like a business meeting. Because the way that the queens react is akin to someone who just succeeded in a business acquisition. They simply nod, smile at this information, and then move on with their day, as if it was just another Tuesday. They then move over to where you four are located, and with their hands behind their back, they will lean forward, doing a half bow, though it is still quite clear that they are being mildly egotistical in their victory, and they will say, "Seems that the battle is over." And with the city under my control now, you are free to use the teleporter. Though I would like to come with you, 1, so that I can learn how to use it, and 2, I personally have not actually experienced how that feels. So I think I will also do a temporary trip.
Great. Yeah, I'd love to have you along.
To which the 6 of you now make your way towards the Mercenary Guild. And Luna, you simply need to make a D20 check.
Oh boy.
Sorry, my thing got cut off for a bit. A D20 check where you call high or low.
Oh. Oh boy.
You didn't hear it. They called low.
You know what? I'll call high because obviously I've rolled too low, so now comes a high. Easy.
Alright, you succeed, so now make an int check. Alright. You work the teleporter from what you saw, and actually how you were shown, because Alistair probably showed you a couple of times. Most likely inadvertently how the teleporter works, because he most likely would have brought you to it near one of like the early days or not long after maintenance happened, and he just turned it on himself.
Yeah.
So you go through the motions, and it does turn on. I would like you to make another int check, please. Alright. As you are going through the mechanisms and controls in relation to the teleporter, seeing if you can even hook up to any other areas, you discover something incredibly interesting. Not only is the teleporter on for Ardwall, the teleporter is on for Dragonport.
Mm-hmm. I'll just relay that information. So, looks like the teleporter is on, which is good. It works in Ardwall, and it also works in Dragonport. I don't know if that changes our plan. I wouldn't think so. I don't think we have a reason to go to Dragonport, but that's there.
Well, the only reason for the teleport and Dragonport to be active would be if Ardwall did a counterattack.
If the Dragonport teleporter is active, that means they probably took Dragonport.
So Dragonport went to Ardwall. You know, they did. I was told that Telduria invaded Ardwall. We don't know who won.
Yeah.
Yeah, best case we're going into an Archon-held Dragonport. Worst case we're going in a Teldurian-held Ardwall.
I don't think the teleporter would be on if Telduria owned it, says the Queens. It's in their protocol to keep the teleporters off at all times if it's in their control, since it can be used against you. Knowing this information, any invading military can keep the teleporters on with some reasonable security, and reasonably conclude that they don't have to fear a counterattack. So I'd say it's more like a gamble of 60-40 in Ardwall's favor. Gambling's kind of fun. Set it for Dragonport.
Alright. She'll go press whatever the rune for Dragonport is, I guess. Since I'm sure that's how it works.
Pretty much. To which the 6 of you step through the teleporter and immediately make your way to Dragonport. And when you step out, you find the Auckland military there waiting for you. And that'll be where today's session ends.
Alright.
So, I would like to thank you all for being here, and I'd like to thank you all for coming out. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, and good night.
Bye!
Yippee!
Good night.